Okay, in today's video we're going to be talking about the order of sharps and flats. So in our previous video we talked about major and minor keys, and we drew the circle of fifths chart. So basically what we want to know now is when we have a key that has one sharp or two sharps or three sharps or one flat, two flats, or three flats, which notes are being flatted in the scale, and we want to memorize the order of the sharps, and then we separately want to memorize the order of the flats. The simplest way to think of this is when you think of sharps to remember this phrase. Fat cats go down alleys eating burritos. Okay? Now I know it's kind of silly, but it works. Alright? So that means the first letter equals a sharp. So that would be F. That means F sharp. C, C sharp, G, G sharp, D, D sharp, A, and then E and B, and you get the idea. So you have F sharp is the first one. C sharp is the next in order, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, and B sharp. So this is the order of sharps. F, C, G, D, A, E, B. Fat cats go down alleys eating burritos. So whichever way is best for you to remember these notes in this order, you just want to understand we have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp in this order always with the order of sharps. Okay? So what this means is that this is always the first note to be sharped in a key. So if we have a key that only has one sharp, that sharp is just going to be F sharp. So for example, in the key of G major, there's only one sharp, which is F sharp. Okay. Now if we have a key like D major that has two sharps, those notes are going to be F sharp and C sharp. So that means that you're just going to go up one half step in the scale above F to get to F sharp, or a half step above C to get to C sharp. And it just goes so on. So if you have a key that has 5 sharps, you're going to have F, C, G, D, and A are all going to be sharped in that key. Okay, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to write out all the keys with each note and which note is sharped in each key. And we're going to start with all the major keys that contain sharps, and we'll do the flats next. So we're going to start with the key of C. C, well, just like we said before, the key of C has no sharps or flats. So that is the key of C like we've talked about. Now if we go to the next key up the circle of fifths, which is G, you could write out the whole scale just from the alphabet like that. So now this scale has one sharp, okay? Because it's up a fifth on the circle of fifths. So this scale has 0 sharps. This scale has 1 sharp. So if we follow our order of sharps, the 1 sharp is going to be F. So F sharp is the answer. So because of the order of sharps, fat cats go down alleys eating burritos, basically F is the first note that gets sharp. So if there's only 1 sharp, it's going to be F. Now if we have a scale that has 2 sharps, like the scale of D major, we're just going to write the alphabet. Okay, and for a D major scale, we're going to have 2 sharps, so we're going to sharp F and C, because fat cats go down alleys eating, So basically, we take 2 sharps, the order is F and C first. Okay, then we have A major down here, which has 3 sharps, so we're going to go fat cats go. And this is a really quick way to write out scales if you're ever taking a test in music theory. You can always rely on the alphabet. If it's a major or minor scale, you can always just rely on the alphabet, and then if you know the order of sharps, write them in, and it's a much faster way than trying to think of each interval or remember, wait, do you go from A to B to C sharp? If you just write out the alphabet and then put the order of sharps in, it's always going to be correct. Okay, and finishing up the major keys, we have a key with 4 sharps, which is going to be E major. So you just write out the alphabet first, and that's E major after we add the sharps to it. So we're going to go in order. Fat cats go down. Okay, so those are our 4 sharps in the key of E major. This is the key, and then you have fat cats go down in that order. So the rest of the notes are natural. E, A, and B are all natural notes. So the next key is going to be with 5 sharps, which is B major. Okay, so we just finished the alphabet. And so we're going to add our 5 sharps to this, so we have fat cats go down Allies. So now we have an A sharp in the key. Now the last key here we're going to do is 6 sharps, which is F sharp major, but first we're just going to write the regular alphabet. So we're going to add our 6 sharps in order. So fat cats go down alleys eating, but not burritos, because that's the B. So that's the last note. So we have 6. So 6 out of 7 notes are sharped except the B. It's the only note that's not sharped. Now, if we were to conceive of going to 7 sharps, that would be the key of C sharp major. We don't usually play that key because it's the same sound as D flat major, which makes more sense to play in D flat. But basically, just so you know, if you were to do 7 sharps, it would be the key of C sharp major. So every single note would be sharped, basically. Okay, and on to our flat keys. So the order of flats is exactly backwards from the order of sharps. So if you think of fat cats go down alleys or F, C, G, D, basically you're going to go completely backwards. So if you think fat cats go down alleys eating burritos, you're going to think burritos eating alleys, but you're not going to say that, right? So you're going to start from B. So basically what we do is we just spell it out. So it would go like this: B, E, A, D, spelling out the word bead, like a necklace, right? And then G, C, F. So again, if I go this way, I'm going backwards. That would be the order of sharps. Fat cats go down alleys eating burritos. But for the order of flats, it's backwards from that. So we have B, E, A, D, G, C, F. Now I just think of the whole phrase like that. I just call it bead, G, C, F. And I just memorize that. Because it's simpler for me to just think of bead, because you're almost all the way there, then GCF just 3 more to memorize. So the word bead and GCF has always worked for me as an easy way to remember the order of flats. Okay, and now on to our keys that contain flats. So basically the first one has 1 flat. That's going to be F major. So we have F, so we just create the alphabet. So now we have 1 flat for the key of F. So that's actually going to be B flat. Okay? Because bead, GCF, the order of flats, the first letter is B. So that means B is the first flat. So you apply it the same way as you do the order of sharps, but we're just going to think of B flat, bead, is the first one here. Okay? So if we have 2 flats, our key is B flat major. But again, we're just going to start with the alphabet. Then we're going to add our 2 flats, so B and then also E. These notes are both flat in the key of B flat major. Because bead, B-E-A-D, like the order of flats. Okay, then we have a key with 3 flats. And that key is going to be E flat. But again, we're just going to write out the alphabet. Then we're going to apply our 3 flats. So B, E, and then A. So B, E, A are all flat in the key of E flat. Then we have 4 flats. So for 4 flats, the key is going to be A flat. But again, we're just going to write the alphabet. So we have 4 flats. So B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. So now we've spelt out the word bead. B, E, A, D. 4 flats, and that's the order of flats, so we're spelling out all 4 letters. And just so you know, we're going up fourths. So if you remember our circle of fifths, if we're looking at the flat keys on the left side of the circle of fifths, okay, if you go counterclockwise on the circle of fifths, we start with F, then we go to B flat, E flat, A flat, going up fourths, okay, just as a reminder. So the next one, we're going to have 5 flats. Now that's going to be D flat, but again, we're just going to write the alphabet. Okay, then we got 5 flats, so we're going to spell out bead. So we've spelt out bead, and then we're going to add G, because G is the 5th flat in the order of flats. B, E, A, D, and then G. Okay? Now the last one we're going to do here has 6 flats, and this is the key of G flat. Okay, but again, we're going to just write the alphabet. So now we're going to write all our flats in, so 6 flats, so we're going to have, again, bead. So the only note that's not flat is F. So this is the key of G flat major. Again, all 6 flats, all the notes are flat except the last note, which is F. Because the order of flats, B, E, A, D, G, C, and what would be F. Okay? So if, again, just like on the other one, if we did 7 flats, we'd be in C flat major. Okay, so it would have every note would be flat. But in that case, we're going to usually play B major instead. It's the same note and harmonically, so we're just going to think about that. So really we just go up to G flat. G flat's a pretty rare key, but I have played it before in certain songs. So that pretty much covers how to apply all the flats to the keys and all the sharps as well. And of course it works the same way for minor keys. You just basically start on the minor note. So if I'm on F and I go back 2 notes, E, and I go back to D, this is my relative minor, it's D minor. So in the key of D minor, we still have 1 flat, which is B flat. Everything's the same for the minor key, okay? However, we're just thinking of starting from the major key to get a good understanding of it, but you don't have to learn a separate set of these to understand the order of sharps and flats. For minor keys, it's the same for major and minor, so they go hand in hand. That's why we call them relative major and minor, because they have the same DNA. Okay guys, so that pretty much sums up the basics for the order of sharps and flats in major keys and minor keys also. In our upcoming videos, we're going to learn more about how to read notes and understand how notes are on the musical staff. And once we do that, we're going to learn how to write our order of sharps and flats on the musical staff as well. But we want to start off with learning what the notes are on the musical staff before we do that.